immune system.
Well, when I don't have orbits.
That actually reminds me of a story when the great C. Nelly here and I used to tailgate USF games quite frequently. We had a huge party set up. We usually have, 20, 30 people come out easily. And we'd always have a young group that would show up with one friend that didn't know anybody else, and they would kind of crash the party. And one day it was kind of just spit and rain a little bit, so the ground was damp. And we had the tent set up. We had the beer pong set up right next to a car. Well, they kept throwing and missing. It would go and roll under the car. What they never figured out was right around the other side of the car was where we would open the door and stand and piss.
And
so, we never told them.
So you were drinking it too, though?
No.
Yeah.
We weren't playing.
Because I don't want to play. Really, Sancho?
It's funny.
Why is the Hulk music on, Sancho?
Because he's crying.
First of all, it's too loud.
He's crying.
That music's way too loud.
You're a pussy today.
No, get your stuff together.
You know, screw you.
Oh, and by the way, Sancho, if you ever eat chips on the microphone on the air again like you did last week, you're fired.
That was classic. Nobody does that.
You're fired if you
There's
do
a
that.
reason for that, dumbass.
Anyway,
You're
back to the.
dumbass.
Can I get back to the beer pong
Please.
story?
Go ahead.
Please.
Okay, so you know when you're playing beer pong, how part of the tricks of the trade, you're supposed to try to distract your opponent at times so that they won't make their shot. You're pretty much allowed to do whatever you want in front of them, other than touch the actual cup itself, right? And so there's a lot of distraction techniques. In the past, I may or may not have had girlfriends of mine, flash their tits or wave their ass or whatever. This guy decided to wave something else around to distract his opponents, and it was a loaded gun.
Oh.
No.
Now, Manus Shannon, 27 years old, he was playing beer pong at a 4th of July party, and he pulls out a 9mm semi-automatic, begins waving the gun around in his opponent's face to distract him during his turn, accidentally pulls the trigger and shoots 2 people.
2. Not
Two
just
people.
1, 2.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, for good measure, he had to get a second one. Yeah.
Well, hey, that's the best way to win the game. Eliminate your opponents.
There you go.
Wow.
You can't win if you're shot with a bullet and you're dying.
As Chris
Right.
Rock would say, that guy's the kind of person that goes in the movie theater and say, damn, this movie's so good, it busts a cap in here. This game's so good, it busts a cap in here. Well, I don't even know. That's kind of a sad state of affairs, dude.
Yeah.
We've actually got a lot of tragic 4th of July stories that we're going to get into later in the show. 2 football players are among those stories, which have made national news. But, guys, we're going to go ahead and finish this segment the way we do every single week in the first segment, and that is with the Badass of the Week.
Badass of the week. Badass of the week. Thanks for
yeah.
joining, Caleb.
What?
Thanks for joining in on that.
I was trying to get Ben's food order.
His food order. I'm all. Man,
You were.
I don't join in half the time.
I'm Sandy Vage tonight.
You are.
You're
I
saying.
had a crappy day.
You're sending my food order to password.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Password just ask a question.
We'll
So
call her P-Dub from now on. What's up, P-Dub?
yeah. So the Badass of the Week on this one was just a really awesome story I came across. And the headline starts out with, man punches cougar to rescue his dachshund.
Now, let me ask you a question. So, it was his hot wife that he punched in the face to
No.
rescue his dog?
No, it was a real cougar.
Oh, it
He
was
was-
an actual cougar.
He was in British Columbia on a hunting trip with his 1-year-old dog walking, and a cougar came up and grabbed it. And he says, I never really thought about what a cougar would do to myself, he said. I just reached back and punched it in the face.
So he punched a live cougar to rescue his ugly wife who's a dog?
No. His
it was an
dachshund.
actual dog.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nowhere in this story does it talk about his wife.
I get confused. When you said cougar, I thought hot woman. And when you said dog, I thought ugly woman.
No.
Does that make me a misogynist?
It's a cougar
Yes.
dog.
Okay.
But you say that negatively, like it's a bad thing.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
glad I appreciate your support.
So,
on
yeah,
that.
basically this guy saved his dog's life by punching a cougar in the face.
Okay.
That's
Who was
pretty
not
You know
a
the
hot
best way
chick.
to get away from a cougar is jump up in the air and do a split. It's true.
No, that's actually I use that to get free drinks from cougars.
No, you
No,
just
no,
you-
he does.
you-
He does.
Yeah,
I've seen
no,
it.
hold on. He drops and does a split, not jumps up in the air and does a split.
I've jumped in the air and done
Cougar
a split.
cougar comes at you, got to dodge it like super crazy like, and the cougar gets scared.
Did you learn that from like Jack Hanna or
I
something?
just made that up.
Yeah, I really don't see that working.
Stupid.
You know, I'm sick of you.
Oh,
Yeah,
isn't it time for a commercial?
I move out.
It is time for a commercial, but hold
Whoa.
on, real quick before we go to commercial. Sancho,
I'm trying to get Sancho's
What?
annoying me already.
Sancho Sanchez is our producer for those who are listening to the show, and Sancho, you seem crabby today.
No, he's not crabby. Miggy's crabby.
You sound crabby. Miggy doesn't sound crabby.
He got sand in his vagina.
Well, he does, but that's normal. But you sound crabby.
I'm badass today.
You are? Why?
Yes. I don't know. I saw Joey in the pigeon.
So are you
Javier the pigeon?
the pigeon?
What's his name? Javier? The pigeon that dropped off the note?
What the hell is he talking about?
Joey, you got a hold of me for the pigeon? The pigeon?
Oh, okay. Joe got a hold of you last week by carrier pigeon.
Carry pigeon.
Right.
Yes.
You're losing everybody, son, Joe.
Sorry.
Anyway, you know what, Caleb? You were right. We should have just gone to commercial.
I tried to warn you guys.
Yeah, you're right. Now, when we get back, like I said, there's 4th of July stuff we're going to get into from last week. A couple football players are in the news for mishaps with fireworks. We've got all kinds of mishap-related stories to the 4th of July. Stay with us. We'll get into it when we get back.
Well, well, Andrew, you've lived a pretty good life, it seems. Let's just take a look. No murder, no adultery, no stealing, not even as a child. Very impressive.
Well, thank you, sir.
In this new age, you have to be accountable in all facets of your life.
Well, what else is there?
It is time to check your browser history.
A dirty browser history may keep you out of heaven, but don't let it ruin your legacy here on Earth. At Legacy Lock, we believe your secrets are no one's business but yours, even in death. Our patented heart monitor notifies operators the moment of your passing within minutes, so Legacy Lock teams can swarm on your home and office, removing any embarrassing material. We don't like to divulge our trade secrets, but you'll rest assured we'll be in and out, and no one will know. You're going to die. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Call Legacy Lock, and your cookies won't crumble you.
Hey, it's Harry Carey here. Have you lost a loved one, perhaps a beloved pet? Well, I can get you in touch with Automelda and Little Bubbles. Then all you gotta do is call 1-800-ASK-HARRY, and I got you covered. Your deceased loved ones will be nothing more than a phone call away with Harry Carey's Liaisons to the Dead. Call me now at 1-800-ASK-HARRY. Here's Charlie from Toronto.
Harry Carey got me in touch with my Uncle Abe, and I found out he was the Sausage King of Chicago.
Then there's John from Salt Lake City.
My Mimo Agnes told me where to find a fortune she had hidden from a bank robbery she had done in the early 40s.
So call me now and get in touch with your loved ones at 1-800-ASK-HARRY. That's 1-800-ASK-HARY. Professor Ptolemy Tyson here for the Cranial Emission Show with Ben Charles, Miguel Hito, and Caleb Crispy. Now that's what I call a compound.
Welcome back to the Crane Mission Show, folks. Ben Charles, Miguel Hito, the C Squared himself, and special guest C Nelly in the house, whose name cannot be uttered without his battle cry.
Without the Arnold Schwarzenegger getting the red ball pulled out of his nose sound effect in Total Recall.
But welcome back to the show, here live from the Lions Den in Ybor City. You want to be a part of the show, you can call in by doing so at 813-438-6068. Like I was saying before the break, guys, we just had 4th of July last weekend. A lot of mishaps going on. It's always typical that after 4th of July, you hear the crazy firework-related stories. Very, very common. What are we all staring at?
I'm watching the baseball plays, and there was two guys going to catch a foul ball, and both of them were like, Well, it's like the bad happenings in the thing. And was Evan Longoria just dodged a pigeon? It might have been Javier. The pigeon. Look at him. He's just strutting. Oh, he had a paper on his leg. Did you see it? That might have been him.
If you're listening to the show, and you're wondering if Miguel Hito has the attention span of a child,
of a dead fish,
you are in fact correct. All you do is wave something shiny in front of him, and he completely loses
a piece of
track
candy.
of things.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Sorry, boys.
So he's probably not somebody that you want launching fireworks at a 4th of July party, but you especially don't want a professional football player launching fireworks at a 4th of July party.
This is insane.
Well, you do if they're going to be respectfully smart about it.
Well, did we ever find out, with both of these happenings, what they were? Was it a Roman candle that blew up in someone's hand, or were they doing something stupid? I mean, was it a case of everybody holds a Roman candle and that's normal, and occasionally they have mishaps and they blow up? That's happened.
Sounds more than
friends
that.
of mine. Yeah, to blow off fingers and
You're talking
mangle
about
that
a
bad.
quarter
yeah.
stick.
I mean,
a quarter stick would be pop off a finger or two.
It's gotten to the point with the fireworks now where there's so many illegal fireworks that you're able to obtain now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back, like, when we were kids, you didn't even have mortars. Now you can get stuff where there's quarter sticks of dynamite that you can get. I remember
Those are hard to get.
But
they're still good.
I remember one time lighting one of those in the neighborhood like an idiot when I was 23 years old.
You scared the hell out of everybody.
The bomb squad came.
Oh yeah,
it blew a chunk of the pavement out of the street that I threw it in the middle.
Really?
of, and the bomb squad came.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
Apparently in Germany they have fireworks, and my mom's old boyfriend was Austria. He was Austrian, and he had these little fireworks. It came in a box about the size
G'day,
of a
mate.
Austria.
Well, same, right?
No.
Thank you, Paul Hogan.
Oh my God!
Anyway,
Sorry, kidding.
That ain't no. Anyways, it was the size of a cigarette pack, and you didn't light them. You struck them on the side of the box like a match, and you threw it. And it was the equivalent of a half stick of dynamite. I've never heard anything that loud in my life. And we threw it. We threw it underwater, and the water went about 15, 20 feet high. I mean, this thing was probably about the size of a cigarette, and it was the most insane thing I ever heard in my life. It was crazy.
Well, maybe that's what Jason Pierre-Paul from the New York Giants was playing with. It was bad enough you heard that story. JPP, star defensive player for the New York Giants.
USF
South Florida,
boy, yeah.
Ex-South Florida
Who,
boy.
by the way, had just been tendered a contract offer that he had yet to sign for $60 million.
Now
and
hey,
hadn't signed
we
it
got a
yet.
phone call, guys, already. You into taking it? Let's do this. We'll talk about fireworks. Thank you for calling the Crane and Lemission Show. Did I hook the thing up properly? No, I didn't. Hold on, Mr. W. It's okay. Do your thing. Ben, talk about this. John, you hold on.
Anyway, so JPP launches a firework and totally mangles his hand.
Yeah. Did you see the picture of that?
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, God.
And apparently he elected to have a finger amputated so that he would heal quicker so he could get back onto the football field. And the thing is that the Giants, because he hadn't signed the contract yet, were able to rescind the offer.
Yeah.
So now he's got to go back with his hat in his hand. That's minus one finger, and and try to get a contract back from these guys again. And I got to ask you: do you think if you're a defensive player, if you're on a defensive line, does missing one finger impact your play?
It could, but you got to use your microphone, Nelly, for God's sakes. John, hold on just a moment. We're going to jump through this topic real quick, and then we'll holler at you.
You got a microphone on now, Nelly. I mean, now, Nelly, let me ask you, because
put it to your mouth.
Because you've got, as we've elaborated many times, you've got retard strength. So for you to be minus a finger, those four fingers you have left can already probably bench press 800 pounds just on those four fingers.
Yeah, but you got to think that one finger, he's losing a couple 100 pounds by that one finger.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's an important
that's
finger.
pretty. That's like if you had a car with 800 horsepower. And you lost 200 horsepower. You still have 600 horsepower, but you used to have 800.
So, I mean, do you think it's going to impact his play, missing the finger?
Him being able to push off is definitely going to be affected.
Put it to your mouth.
As he deep throats the microphone.
And then you had another player on the Bucs. You
Yeah.
had C.J. Wilson, defensive back, who apparently lost two fingers in a firework accident. And now I'm going to say, on the defensive line, maybe missing that finger isn't going to impact you. I mean, at the end of the day, your job is to pass rush and to wrap up and tackle people. But if you're a defensive back, your job is to defend the ball. Your job is to try to intercept the ball at times. And if you're missing two fingers, I think that does pose a challenge in that regard. And imagine, you go to reach your hand up to go to tip the ball, to go to deflect it, and if you're two fingers shy, you just whiff right past it now.
One
it
finger
would be
twice
interesting
shy.
to see a nub just go up there.
Hey, John, are you there?
I am.
Oh, it is wonderful to talk to you. How you doing? This is John Wilson, everybody, from Liverpool, England. Has his own show on Spreaker, The John Wilson Show. Check it out. And he's on many other shows, including Shipwreck, now Hard Cunts. John, do you have fireworks for sale in the UK?
Yes, we do. Well, we celebrate, you see, you've got the 4th of July, which is obviously, and let's face it, that's just tea and tears, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we've got Guy Fawkes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Guy Fawkes, who broke into the Houses of Parliament and blah blah blah.